So hello everyone, welcome back to our online class. How are you doing today? I hope you are doing fine, right? Alright, so are you well prepared for our online class? So everyone, before you start your online class, I suggest you to have your notebook, your textbooks, and also make sure that your phones, you have the internet access so that you can watch the video easily, and also you can ask any question in the group. And also I would like to remind you that after you finish watching my video, please don't be hesitate to ask questions if you don't understand any points or if you cannot catch up with any point, because somehow I just only take the videos and then I did not receive the question from you at all, but you have your homeroom teachers to ask the question if you don't understand anything, because I'm just the one who only teach you the lesson on the whiteboard, so I don't know which point that you don't understand at all. I just go from one point to another point, so I'm worried that if you don't understand anything, please, okay, ask question in your group to your teachers, and I'm sure that your homeroom teachers can help you a lot. All right, so everyone, for today's lessons, in the first section, do you know what are we going to study? So in the first section, we are going to study in the lesson in the listening to the news book. So I hope until right now you have this book in your hand. All right, so if you don't have, it's not too late as well to go to the campus, the nearest campus, in order to buy the book. All right, so for today's lessons, we are going to continue the lesson in the unit 4 and seesaw content. So do you still remember yesterday what did we study about, everyone? Because yesterday we also studied the lessons in the listening to the news, right? Alright, and today I'm going to continue this unit unhealthy soul content. And yesterday I taught you a lot of new vocabularies for you that will help you in order to listen to the track easily. Alright, if you know some difficult words already. Alright, so here are the review words that I'm going to explain, and in order for you to be clear about this word. Alright, so here are only 6 words that I pick up in order to review for all of you. So can you read the first word, everyone? What is it? I'm sure that you can pronounce it correctly, because yesterday I asked you to repeat after me as well all the words in order to make sure that you can pronounce all of the words correctly. Alright, and if you don't understand, or if you cannot catch up with the pronunciation, you can check the dictionary in your phone, right? Because I believe you all have smartphone in your hand, so you can just type the words and then in your dictionary, and then you can listen to the pronunciations, and also you can see the meanings. All right, so the first word we pronounce routinely. Routinely. So what does it mean, everyone? Routinely. So the word routinely, I believe it functions as an adverb, right? Yes, because you see the word "ly" at the end of the word, right? So routinely, it means very often, when something usually happens. So we can say the word routinely. For example, I can say you routinely watch the videos for your online class. It means that you often watch the videos of my teaching for your online class every morning. All right. And number 2, sodium. 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 So the word sodium, it refers to an element that contains in a table salt, right? Do you know salt, everyone? S-A-L-T. Salt. So here sodium is a kind of element or a substance, the main substance in a salt. And if you eat too much sodium, it can cause a lot of health problems. All right, so please limit the sodium that you put in your food, or the salt that you put in your food every day, right, in order to be healthy. Number 3, retention. Retention. Retention, it means that trying to keep something or trying to make something to stay the same, all right? So something that always stay at the same things or existing at the same level. So we can say retention. Or another one, if we talk about the job, so we can say about job retention. So like I explained you yesterday, in one company, if they care about the qualified employees, or if they want to take care, they want to keep the good employees, they always think of the job retention, right? Alright, so number 4, short of breath. So you might hear the word breath and breathe. So what is the difference between breath and breathe? So here I pronounce short of breath. Short of breath here, breath here is function as a noun, but breathe, we add E, B, O, E, A, T, H, E. Here, if we add E at the end, it becomes a verb. So we pronounce it breathe, breathe. But here we pronounce it short of breath. So short of breath, it's like you find it very difficult, okay, to breathe, right? You don't have enough air, okay, or enough oxygen in order to breathe, all right? So I believe that when you always climb the stairs, you are always short of breath, right? Yes. Number 5, commercially. Commercially here it related to the way that we make money or we make profit from selling or serving the service or the products, all right? So have you ever watched Fast and Furious movie, everyone? That was a famous one of the Hollywood movies. And also I can say that Fast and Furious was a movie that was a great success commercially. That movie was a great success commercially. I can say that because that movie make a lot of profit, all right? Last one, number 6, pressure. Pressure. Have you ever heard the word depressions? Yes. So if people receive or has a lot of pressure, they will become depressed, or they will have depressions, all right? So pressure here, it means a difficult situation that make you sad or make you worried or make you feel anxiety, yeah, something like that. So I suggest you, okay, don't put a lot of pressures on yourself when you cannot catch up with my lesson, because you have your homeroom teacher to help you in your group. Ask question anytime, all right? Because I believe your homeroom teachers is always willing to answer your questions, all right? So that's it for our review of our vocabulary. So right now we are going to listen to a track. So the track that we are going to listen is track 10. And also you see the instruction here, listen to the news and complete the notes, right? So the title of our listening today is US restaurant chains criticized for unhealthy salt content. So this listening is about the one part of the lifestyle of the Americans that they like to eat out, right? And also there is a concern that there is a concern over what the Americans what they eat outside, because one health group found out that the restaurant put dangerously high amounts of salt, or we can say sodium, in the food, right? So they found out that the restaurant put dangerously high amounts of salt in the food that they serve to their customers. So if the restaurant put too much salt in the food that they serve to their customer, it causes a lot of health problems to the people that they go to eat as well, like I can say heart disease or high blood pressures or kidney disease, all right? So if you want to know more about this listening, so let's go with me all together, all right? So everyone, here are the words that you need to complete in the listening. After you listen already, so you need to complete. You need to take all these words in order to complete in the blanks. Alright? So everyone, are you ready for our listening? So let's get started.
Unit 4. Unhealthy salt content. U.S. restaurant chains criticized for unhealthy salt content. Americans like to eat out. It's been estimated they go out for a meal or get takeout food from a restaurant at least 5 times a week. But there is growing concern about the quality of the food they consume. One health group is warning that some restaurants put dangerously high amounts of salt in the food they serve. Doctors routinely warn patients to put the salt shaker down. It turns out there is already way too much salt in the food prepared in many restaurants. Michael Jacobson is with the Center for Science in the Public Interest, a food safety and nutrition organization in Washington, D.C.
Salt is probably the single deadliest ingredient in our food supply,
he said,
causing tens of thousands of unnecessary deaths a year, and restaurants are a big part of the problem.
Jacobson says adults with high blood pressure or who are middle-aged or older should consume no more than 1,500 milligrams of sodium a day. Children should consume no more than 1,200 milligrams a day. Jacobson's organization looked at the contents of at least 100 meals from 17 American restaurant chains and found that as much as 4 days' worth of salt was in some dishes.
This is the average amount of salt that Americans consume per year. It's 8 pounds, and the experts say cut it down at least halfway, and ideally almost 2/3 of the way down,
Jacobson said. A certain amount of salt in food is okay. According to the Mayo Clinic, salt maintains the right level of fluids in your body, helps transmit nerve impulses, and contract and relax muscles. But too much salt leads to fluid retention, higher blood pressure, and cardiovascular and kidney diseases. Dr. Lawrence Appel of the Johns Hopkins School of Public Health says the elderly and those sensitive to sodium are vulnerable when the waiter brings the food.
They consume a massive amount of salt without knowing it,
he said.
They end up short of breath and come to the emergency room with flagrant heart failure.
Dawn Sweeney represents the National Restaurant Association in the United States. She says her members are cutting back on salt content.
You look across the menu in those restaurants, and there are many choices that are low in sodium,
she states. The Center for Science in the Public Interest and the American Medical Association have called for government limits on the amount of salt in commercially prepared food. For now, those who make and serve that food are not required to reveal what goes into the recipe.
So I believe you have listened to the listening track already. So did you get all the answer, everyone? So let's compare the answer with me all together. So here, again, the title of listening is U.S. restaurant chains criticized for unhealthy salt content. Salt levels: adult, blah blah blah, age or over should consume no more than 1,500 milligrams of salt per day. So adult, we have 6 words, everyone. The first word, commercially transmit, children's, middle, cutting, precious. So everyone, which word that you complete in your textbook? Which word? So the word is middle. Middle, adult, middle age or over should consume no more than 1,500 milligrams of salt per day. Alright, so did you get the correct answer, everyone? So I hope you can get the correct answer. Alright, so number 2, blah blah blah, salt limit 1,200 milligrams per day. So everyone, what is it? The word is children. Children salt limit 1,200 milligram per day. Alright, so here as you can see the different number. So here normally for adult or the middle age they consume 1,500 milligram of salt per day, but the health group suggested that children or the middle-aged group people, they should consume the salt only 1,200 milligram per day only, alright, in order to get a healthy body. Next, salt is necessary, helps fluid level balance. So salt, if we eat the appropriate amount of salt, it also can benefit to our body as well. As you can see here, it helps fluid the level balance. Alright, so number 3, blah blah blah, nerve impulse, right? So here, which answer everyone? We have only 4 left. So what is it? So number 3 is transmit. Transmit nerve impulse. The problems of too much salt. So here it comes to the problems that I told you earlier about eating too much salt. Okay, so let's see all together. Fluid retention, high blood, what everyone? That I said at the moment, high blood pressure. Heart and kidney disease. Restaurants are blah 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 back on salt content, more low sodium menu items. So we have only commercially and cutting left. So which one? Everyone, restaurant are cutting. So when the health groups in America, they found out that the restaurant put too much salt in the food and they criticize over that. So the restaurant right now, they try to cut down on the salt that they use in the food that they serve to their customers. So it is a good sign, right everyone? And last one, health groups calling for government limits on salt in what everyone? Last one, we have only last one, commercially. Commercially prepared food. Alright, so everyone, I believe it comes to the end of my section today, and I hope you have learned a lot from this section. First of all, you have learned about the vocabulary, you practice your listening, and also most importantly, you learn about the health benefits, right? So here, when you learn the language, it's not only about the language, but it also about the content, about some information in that language as well. Because after you hear from the listening and after you hear my ideas about the salt that we put in our food, I believe that you always you are also aware of salt, eating salt from now on. Alright, so everyone, it's time to say goodbye. So see you in the next session. Bye bye.